Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Kol Haloim La, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Machakadash. Double honors to the Apostle Elders, Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. It's Brady Yakal from GMS Cleveland. Little winner with another edifying lesson, but this is going to be a quick vision I had early this morning. Little winner be actually no. Yeah, it was early this morning, late last night, I believe. Yeah, I believe it was later last night, actually. But nevertheless, little one was going to get straight into it. As soon as I woke up, I did what I usually do when I had these different visions. How about Shimon Shai be giving me? I immediately got up in my little note section of my phone and put down some notes, so I wouldn't forget the dream. So little one, I'm just going to read off these notes real quick and recall the vision. The little one maybe grab a couple precepts, but nevertheless, I was going to go straight into it. So thus it's not super long. But it's going to be a vision of spiritual power / the force jab. Okay, and it started off with, I didn't even know it was a vision at first. I thought, I didn't realize it was a vision until later, but nevertheless, it started off with a vision, so it started me arguing with my moms. Okay, it says, basically I was trying to tell her that the jab was poison. Okay, and saying that it was going to be made mandatory and that there's a hidden agenda behind taking that jab. So I was basically trying to convince her in a dream. Then we was going back and forth, and I was trying to try to tell her, you shouldn't be taking it. I was basically warning her, man, which it's crazy. Which I'm past this point. Majority of Jake no longer is truth. The more you grow, I'm past this point now in the real in the real life. I don't do this no more. I don't try to convince family, especially family members. Brothers, as Christians say, brothers said brought this out recently. Brothers got together with the fact that how shall I say a prophet is now without honor except his own country and his own house. Roughly paraphrasing, but nevertheless, the people who are just the most truth the most is probably your family members, your immediate family members, your mother, your father. Okay, those you have siblings. Okay, aunties, etc., etc. Those are the main ones who don't want to hear it. But for most people, man. But nevertheless, it says so. Basically, I wasn't doing it in real life, but nevertheless, but I was arguing with my mom's in a dream. And she kept saying that the fact that we were specifically talking about the fact that the jab was going to be made mandatory, right? And Salaki is raining. I'm in the Walmart parking lot. It's raining outside, so Salaki is you can hear the raindrops. But nevertheless, it said we were arguing over the fact I was trying to tell her that look, Esau is going to make the jab mandatory, man. She kept saying that's conspiracy theory. Is optional. It's here to help you. It's here to save you. It's not going to harm you. That it's optional. There's offerings of people to help people. You should not only did she take it, but she was saying I should take it too, But so we were arguing going forth about that, right? And I told her, I remember specifically I told her she was going to see. And as soon as I woke up from the vision, it was crazy because I'm gonna finish the rest of the vision. Like I said, for a little while, I just want to get right into it. But nevertheless, after that point happened, I remember when I woke up from this vision, I literally checked my phone. I got a text from my mom's saying she took the second her second dose of that jab. Because Esau's such the devil. Whatever poison he's shooting these people up with, especially our people, he's saying you gotta take 1 and 2 different doses of it, whatever. But literally, as I woke up after this vision, in the vision I was arguing with my mom, telling her not to take the jab, that she was gonna see that it was a hidden agenda behind it. And basically, in the vision, she kept saying it was a conspiracy theory, and that they're here to help you, etc., etc. And when I woke up from this dream in real life, I saw my phone. She texted me and said she got the jab. She said I should get it too. But nevertheless, I just want to put that out there. But so after that, after I was arguing back and forth, saying Esau's gonna make the jab mandatory. Fast forward in the dream, and I was in a city, and I'm in Cleveland. I'm Cleveland, Ohio. But nevertheless, it was a different city. I know it was in Cleveland. Whatever city it was bigger than the city I'm in. It says the city was in chaos. Okay, people knew that troops were coming to enforce the jab. So I don't know whether, like I said, if fast forward in the dream, and I don't know if like Esau put it out a decree out on the news or made it wrote into law and policy or whatever, and that's what Esau likes to do. He likes to write stuff. Part of Esau's sword is the pen. I don't know if he wrote into legislation or whatever that the jab was mandatory and everyone had to have it for everyone's safety or whatever. But basically, everyone knew that troops were coming soon to enforce the jab, and basically everyone was just going to chaos. Man, it was just people all across the streets. You got people breaking into each other's houses. Second enters the 15th chapter. I remember. I guess the food supply trucks would stop coming to the stores, except for people breaking into each other's houses, getting food. I remember I saw some women were getting ravished. Okay, some women were getting raped. Okay, it was just all out hell, bro. Yeah, women screaming, running, trying to get away from men. I mean, it was like literally people out in the streets. Got people, whole families, like a man, his woman, his kids, with him, trying to travel across the street with like book bags on. It was just all out hell and chaos and calamity on the streets, man. Okay, and people except for I remember specifically everyone knew about the jab. Everyone knew that the jab was coming. Like they knew martial law troops or his troops, army, whatever you want to call them, troops were coming to enforce the jab, right? So people were taking whatever they wanted. They were leaving the cities, and then people were in cities trying to hide and trying to get like in places in the cut where they would think that troops wouldn't be at. And I remember it was me specifically. It was me and two other brothers. I don't know. I didn't get to see their faces, but I just knew through the spirit there were two brothers that were in the truth. And basically we were just on the run. It was on the move. It wasn't actual persecution yet. Like I just had a vision recently about persecution of prophets. We understand that's coming too, but Esau hadn't had that yet. Right at this point, he was just only coming after people, trying to get everyone to take the jab. Okay, like the scripture tell you in Revelation 12:12, Esau's gonna come down with great wrath, because he had but short time, But nevertheless, so everyone's panicking except for a bunch of things, women getting ravished, people getting killed. It's craziness, right? But then and people were trying to find places to hide. But except for me and two other brothers, we were just it was spiritual too, because I remember it was one brother that was Northern Kingdom, one brother that was Southern Kingdom. Going to show you that the two kingdoms come together. But nevertheless, so after that, me and the brothers was walking, but then we saw a military truck start pulling up, like, the military Humvees with the 50 caliber machine gun on top, the person commanded, troops and army fatigues start pulling up, in their green fatigues. They start pulling up all across the city, and basically we started trying to hide, we basically got in this little spot in the cut. Okay, we saw everyone else, they were still panicking, running in the middle of the street. Like, you couldn't even drive a car through the main road because it was just people all in the street, so everyone just basically on foot. But nevertheless, after the troops started pulling up, we started trying to hide somewhere, and we hid in this little like behind this little gate or whatever, and basically the troops were focused on everyone else. But then multiple people saw where we were at, I guess, and they tried to follow us, and they all basically blew up our spot we were hiding at, because everyone was trying to follow us. And they basically, it was too many people, so then the troops turned our way and started looking towards us. So I remember I jumped up. I was like, nah, fuck this shit. I jumped the gate. Okay, we were behind the gate, and there was another one behind us. I remember I jumped the gate, ran across the street for I don't know how long I was running, like I said, for you, it's a vision. So I just ran for a little while. Then I remember I got to this barbershop. I remember specifically, and I went in there, and Jake was in there cutting hair. There's a bunch of Israelites in there, and then also some regular people. I remember specifically, I just ran to this barbershop. It's a vision. But nevertheless, went to the barbershop, and troops started to pull up outside. And at this point, I was cornered, because the first time when they almost caught us, I escaped. Okay, the other brothers ran. We kind of got separated, but nevertheless, after I ran to the barbershop, the troops started pulling up. Right, the military Humvees pulled up. They pulled up to the outside the barbershop, and troops came in with the guns up, telling everybody get on the ground. And everybody hit the ground. We put our hands up, slowly got to our knees, and then laid down on the ground. But then I noticed I was just gonna comply. I was just seeing through the spirit what's gonna happen, and that's that discernment. Ultimately, brothers have that. Even brothers, when say brothers are out at camp, and certain people come up to the camp, and you kind of read what spirit they're in to see how you should handle this situation. And basically, I was just reading to see like how was this going to play out. Basically, what alarmed me was the fact that when the people on the ground, you had these military troops, the army fatigues with the guns up, and then they put their they have like a they have like a what's the one I'm looking for, like a strap for the gun, like the gun could like hang on your shoulder. They basically letting it hang off their shoulder, and they was trying to take the jabs out. Okay, I'm saying jab from that other word, the VASSINE. Okay, and basically injecting people. I was like, oh, and I saw a troop coming up behind me, getting ready to inject me. So I was like, oh, hell no. So I'm like, hey, so it's funny, because instantly at that moment, I was like, okay, so either the Lord's about to do something miraculous, I'm about to be a martyr, something's about to happen, because in no way hell I'm about to willingly let this dude this troop inject me with his jab, right? So I got up as he was trying to inject me, and how about Shimon Shah? Let me pull this precept. Okay, I'm gonna get this first, Ezekiel 33 and 33, because like I said before, I was trying to tell my moms in the beginning of the vision that this was gonna happen. That in fact Esau was gonna come down, he could try to enforce his agenda on everybody. Eventually it happened. All hell was breaking loose, man. Like I said before, it was just all out chaos. Ezekiel 33 and 33. And when this comes to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. Yeah, so when these calamities start taking pass, when Jacob's trouble really hits, Jeremiah 30 and 7, man. Okay, but it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, he shall be saved out of it. And the Lord did save me out of it. And we're going to get into that in 1 second. But I just want to emphasize the point. Hey, when this happens, it comes very, very soon to the point where it's no longer going to be talking, man. The Lord's about to take his prophets off the streets. Okay, and the Lord is about to have judgment raining on these streets, man. Okay, everyone, a lot of our people, they love trusting Esau, think Esau's here to help them. Well, when Esau comes with these truths, you're going to see Esau's going to come in like a flood, man. Let's get this scripture, man, because I want to get in the fact that what the Lord did. Like I said before, at that point, I had his full faith. I was like, man, look, hey, how about Shimon Shah about to do something miraculous? I got up. So this Psalms 144 and 1, that's the spirit, 144. Psalms 144 and 1, it says, a psalm of David. Blessed be Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah, my strength, which teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight. Yeah, so as soon as I get up, like I said before, I'm watching everyone else in the barbershop get on the ground, and everyone's is complying, taking the jab. So I'm like, hell no, I'm not about to let Esau shoot me up with this shit. So I get up, and the Lord just immediately gave me super strength and super speed. I remember that the dude was like on top of me. He had, you put your knee on somebody's back or whatever, trying to inject them. So basically, I had the spirit. I lifted up, my body lifted up, and he lifted up with me. And this like a grown ass man, a grown ass military troop. They be lifting weights and shit, and they be strong as hell. But then basically, it was like 8 of them in the room, right? And the one that was on top of me, I lifted up. He lifted up on my back too. I took him up with me, and then I slammed him off me. Okay, and I started fighting the rest of the troops. I remember at one point, like 3 of them grabbed me, They like one grabbed my arm, one grabbed my back, so to speak. And they basically injected me with the jab, but they didn't get to hit the plunger. Like they put the needle on me, but they didn't plunge anything down. I ripped it out of me real quick, and basically the Lord just put the spirit on me. I was moving so fast, and I was so strong. I basically beat all of them up in there, right? I beat all their ass. So all the troops, like I said, if I read that scripture, I'm gonna read it one more time. Psalms 144:1, it says, Blessed be Yahweh Slakia. Blessed be the Lord Yahweh Shem Shah, my strength, which teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight. Yeah, and the Lord put the spirit on me. Like I remember I was moving so fast, like I couldn't even tell what I was doing. Like literally, the spirit of the Lord literally just took over my body. Like the Lord is completely just whatever he put in my mind, like I said before, I was ready. He said he teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight. The Lord just put the spirit on me, and I was just whooping all them troops' ass. Like I said before, it was like 8 military troops, and they saw when they saw what I was doing to their buddy or whatever, they all stopped injecting everyone else. They came try to help them fight me, but I basically whooped all their ass. They was all out unconscious. And I remember it was one more troop left. It was one more troop, and basically he just watched what I did to all his men, so he was shook. So I remember he had this little spear or this knife or whatever, and he was basically pointing out at me like he was in a corner, shook, and he was pointing out at me like trying to warn me to stay back. I remember I took it out of his hand. I remember I broke it in half, and I took the sharp part and I shoved it through his mouth, and it came back out like the back of his neck or the back of his head. I remember that specifically, man. It was crazy, bro. But hey, Lord, how about Shemi Al-Shah? He gonna deliver his men when Esau comes in like a flood. I'm gonna grab that precept right now, Lord willing, man. Hey, how about Shemi Al-Shah? He put the spirit on me. Hey, and Jake got busy, man. Jake put the works on Esau, so to speak. Because Esau troops, like I said before, Esau thinks his troops is gonna come in. He's gonna be able to push his agenda, but the Lord has a remnant of men, women, and children that gonna be delivered, man. Okay, and basically, after I whooped all them troops' ass and I killed that last one, all the ones in the barbershop that didn't take the jab, I remember they was following me and came with me, and then the vision ended. But nevertheless, hey, that was real quick. I'm gonna get the scripture. This is Isaiah 59. I'm starting verse 17. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate and a helmet of salvation upon his head. And he put on garments of vengeance for clothing and was clad with zeal as a cloak. According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense. Yeah, and according to their deeds. And what's some of Esau's deeds, man? Okay, again, our temptation come with Revelation 13:16 come with this mandatory jab, this mandatory chip, man. This is coming. Lord willing, I'm actually gonna do a video about the chip later today, Lord willing. But nevertheless, hey, Esau's they say from the vision, he was enforcing the jab. He had the military boots on the ground, and they was coming through. Everyone with guns blazing. Get down or lay down. Everybody had to take the jab. It was made mandatory, man. Everyone had to take the jab. It was no longer a optional thing. It was mandatory, bro. Okay, and we understand Esau's gonna make it mandatory by the fact that if you want to work a job, you want to go to the store, etc., you're gonna have it. But it's gonna get to the point where Esau is literally gonna make it mandatory. Like, look, you have to have this if you want to live, But basically, the Lord's gonna like I just read, it says he won't repay fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. In verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, as the spirit Esau did, the spirit of the Lord Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah shall lift up a standard against them. That's a standard they set for. Hey, one of my favorite topics. You watch my videos. I love going to the spiritual power, man. Jake, I've been having a lot of visions of spiritual. I've had a lot of visions about the spiritual power, and I've been having more recently. Hey, the Lord is gonna give his men miraculous power. Like I said before, when I was on the ground and I realized he was about to try to jab me up, I was like, man, shit. I was like, hey, we're coming to a time, hey, where the Lord is really going to have our faith. This is why the Lord is building our faith up now, because the fact that the Lord is going to be with us, man. Because I was like, look, when I got up, I'm like, I realized they all got guns. I'm like, hey, I was like, hey, let the Lord's will be done, so to speak. I'm like, shit, because I'm about to get up. I'm about to try to fight this dude. I'm like, whatever happens, happens, right? But I had faith the Lord's going to do what he says he's going to do. I'm reading right here. The Lord, St. John 14th chapter, the house I said, those that believe on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go into my Father. So when I got up, I was like, I just knew, I remember in a vision, I just knew the Lord was going to give me spiritual power, man. So I got up, and the Lord had me whoop all them troops' ass, like I said before, and I put to death the last troop. It was beautiful, man. And the Lord's going to do miraculous things, and the Lord going to have his men out here, out here being mighty, man. Okay, like I said, it was just brute strength, this bare strength, like nothing they try to hit me with, try to punch me, whatever, it didn't hurt. I was moving super fast, like for you brothers who seen the Matrix, how Neo was moving super quick. He's fighting all them agents. That's basically how it was. I was moving super quick. There was nothing they can do with me, This I'm gonna read verse 19 again. So shall they fear the name of the Lord, Yahweh Shai from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, saith the Lord. Yeah, the Redeemer is Yahweh Shai, man. Let me get this. Zechariah chapter 12 and verse 8, it says, and that day the Lord Yahweh Shai shall defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as the Elohim, as the angel of the Lord before them, man. And so the Lord's gonna make us mighty, man. Like I said before, he that is feeble among them, man. So the most feeblest brother, like I said before, you gotta be a man. That's not normal, man. For one man to be able to take on, like I said, I'm 20 years old. He's a 20-year-old Jake be able to take on 8 grown ass military trained men, It's off the whim, And the Lord's gonna make us bad, bro. Hey, Jake was in the sky. I woke up with a smile on my face after that vision, man. I was happy as hell, Jake can't wait to get that power, man. But it says, he that is feeble among them, and that day shall be as David. We know King David was getting down, man. Saul has slain his thousands and David's 10,000s, man. King David was a mighty warrior, man. It says, in the house of David shall be as God, as the Elohim, as the angel of the Lord before them, man. So we're gonna be as angels, bro. Okay, you can't kill an angel, man. Okay, angels are immortal beings, bro. We're gonna be out here, man. Like brothers always say, one angel can destroy the earth, man. So that's the type of power the Lord's gonna give his men. We ain't gonna need guns, bro. Like that one vision I had about a month ago about the spiritual power, about how the fact I was manipulating the elements. I remember Elder Kazak was in that video, in that vision. Nevertheless, I was running so fast, I could see the bullet moving in slow motion, and man, I had the power to manipulate the elements. I can control metal and shit. I can make it use telekinesis, so to speak, and make stuff fall on people. Like, man, the Lord gonna have us out here. And I'm gonna read the next verse. Zechariah 12 and 9. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. So the Lord is going to use his men out here as weapons, man. That's in Jeremiah the 51st chapter. They tell you, they are my battle axe and weapons of war, man. So the Lord's going to have us out here putting these troops down, man. The Lord's about to show his power, man. Because Esau, he's going to tell you, even for the same purpose how I raised thee up, that I might show my power indeed. The Lord got Esau all this military might, think he's about to come in like he's somebody. And the Lord's about to humble his ass, man, by giving lowly men, his men preaching his words, sincerity and truth, that power, man, to destroy this devil, man. But no, I just want to share that real quick. Lord, when it's a faith boosting to you, Akim, to not fear the times we coming in. Great tribulation is coming, but you got to remember, it's good to tell you, listen, Thessalonians, the Lord has not appointed, I can end off on that, not appointing us to wrath, man. This is this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 8. It says, But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love. Yeah, for faith and love. Except for when I got up and ready to fight them truths, I had faith. I was like, look, the Lord, but I have faith in myself. I was like, how about Shemel Shah about make work a mighty work, right? It says, and for in helmet the hope of salvation, the hope of salvation, prisoners of hope. For the Most High have not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahweh Shah Hamashiach, man. So I was gonna leave off on that, man. The Lord is not appointing us to wrath, man. While these great calamities come, like I said before, this is for the proud. This is for the Israelites who didn't return to the Lord, and for these heathen, man. I remember I saw that as well when all hell was breaking loose. The heathens was catching hell as well, man. But Lord, when I was edifying, like I said, for Lord, when it's faith boosting with that, once they call Elohim La, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kakadash, double arms to Apostle Elder Grey Millstone, Shalom to the hopeful elect, Shalom.